This is the perfect alternative to the Ember Smart Mug. Or is it? Let's talk about that. This mug claims to be able to keep your drinks to a piping hot 149 degrees. Let's test that throughout the course of this video. I got some delicious Costco brand green tea here, and we're gonna make ourselves a cup of tea here live on camera. Here we have the mug on at its max heating setting, which again, is claimed to be, oh crap, I dropped the tag in. Which claims to be about 149 degrees. Fortunately for us, I got a little tool here. Right now we're sitting at a comfortable 139 degrees. So throughout the course of this video, we'll keep an eye on this and see how it keeps its temperature. But anyway, let's get right into this. Let's talk about the functionality of the product. And honestly, you guys might underestimate just how handy a self-heating mug can be. I mean, it sounds self-explanatory. Oh, keeps your drinks hot, that's nice. Ugh. But honestly, if any of you creatives are watching and do a job like video editing or anything like that, you know that being in a workflow, in a flow state, is one of the most important places you can be in an edit. And getting up to go to the bathroom, heat up your drinks, do anything like that can kind of throw off your groove. But this has saved me hundreds of trips to the microwave. Okay, hundreds might be a little bit of an exaggeration, but you get what I'm saying. It's honestly been way more of a tool than I ever could have imagined. I mean, I just didn't like drinking cold coffee. But this has been a lifesaver. Let me be honest with you. So if you've been wanting a cup like this, a self-heating mug, and you just haven't been wanting to shell out the money for one of the more popular brands like the Embers, and you've been looking for an alternative video, this is where you want to be. Stay tuned. Oh, and before we continue on, they did send the mug to me for free. However, that's not going to sway my thoughts or opinions. I asked because I've been wanting to try one out for a while. I told them that I was going to be honest 100%, and you know, there's some pros and cons that we'll get into at the end of the video. Keep it on the topic of functionality. It does honestly do exactly what it's meant to. It keeps your drinks piping hot. I mean, and as long as you're using it with the pad, and we'll get into battery life more later, as long as you need. There's been days where I've been, you know, working from 9 to 12, and I mean, that's about the time sometimes it takes me to drink a cup of coffee. I'm a really slow drinker, but you know, totally piping hot all the way through. It's pretty magical. And another bit of functionality that you might not even like think about is with its included lid, you can basically use it as a portable mug, like a travel mug, which isn't really what I would think to do, but you know, it's a possibility. And again, just with functionality, there's been so many evenings already that I've been playing an intense game with a friend, and you know, as you're playing games, you just kind of forget that your drink is there, and then you go to take a drink and it's frigid cold, it's awful. But with this, you can play with your friends all night long. You never once have to leave the fun, the game, the action to heat up your drink. All you gamers out there, total recommend 100%. And the last bit of functionality it has is it has an auto on-off feature. I wanted to put this in the functionality section just because I can't imagine if it didn't. I mean, maybe it could burn down a house. I have no idea. I didn't test it. You want me to test? No, you go test it yourself. Let's talk about the controls real quick. It has one button, super simple. You press it to turn it on or off or cycle through the heating options. Now, it is kind of an inconvenient spot. I don't know if you could make it more convenient. It's just, sometimes I use my left hand to drink with, so the controls and like options are kind of based on the opposite side of me as I hold it. So that's great for you guys because you can see exactly what's going on here. But as for me, I got nothing. So I have to kind of like, so I don't know, maybe it would have been handy if they put the lights where the button is, just so it's more like at a frontal position, but that's a very small gripe, but just keep it in mind. Just to help you, I guess, get a better grasp on it, let's go over some pros and cons of the product. So first of all, even though it doesn't have an app where you can exactly adjust what temperature you want, it does have 3 levels of adjustability. We got warm, which is 113 degrees, hot, which is 131 degrees, and piping, which is 149. So you definitely have a little bit of adjustability there to work with. I mean, you're not completely at a loss because of a lack of an app. Another pro is a very pretty design and feel. I mean, I got the steel blue color here, and it's honestly very pretty. It feels premium in the hand. The bottom plate does feel maybe like a little more plasticky than the top. I'm not sure if they had a change of materials kind of at the midway point here, but honestly, it does feel like quite a Unova product, which I'm glad, considering it's like around 70 bucks or something like that. You should be getting something well designed. We're sitting at 141 degrees, so not quite at that promised 145 or 149 option yet. The other pro is it does have endless battery life when paired with the coaster. So again, just set it, forget it. It keeps your drink hot. You don't have to worry about it. And the last pro is it has actually pretty solid battery when you're doing it on low to medium heat, which is nice because I mean, I've used it a couple times just while, you know, at the kitchen counter, away from my desk setup or while studying somewhere, and it does keep it pretty warm for basically as long as it takes me to drink my drink. So honestly, solid battery life, and we'll get a little more into that in the cons, just to like, there are a few caveats. And actually that does bring us into the cons. And my first major con of it, I really think there should be a heat option between the medium and hot setting, because honestly, as I drink my coffee or tea, I kind of like it to be basically as hot as possible, but not quite so hot that it'll drain the battery life like crazy. So I just wish they had one intermediate setting there. That way, if you're using it away from your desk, you'll have a little bit better battery life and just a little hotter drink. And that brings us to the battery life once again. Battery settings really suck when you have it on the max temperature. It drains like crazy. I think if it was 100% charged and then you drank it full heat away from your charging stand, I think you might be able to make it through depending on how fast you drink. But it really does suck it down, which again, that kind of relates to our last point. Just it would be really nice to have something just a little cooler to save a bit of battery, but still just be a little warmer than the medium heat setting. And the last final con of it is the mug itself does scratch really easily. Pretty much the first day I had it, it got this gnarly scratch just from being on the dish drainer. Dish must have like fell against it. Just the finish is really sensitive, and it's not a huge deal, but I kind of think over the course of maybe like a couple of years having this, it could end up looking pretty banged up and stuff. All right, before we conclude, let us check the temperature one more time. And again, we're reading 140. So I don't think it really hits that 149 that it promises. However, this really is, I mean, it's steaming, it's piping hot. Yeah, no, there's no issues with this. This is perfect. This is a hot drink. Anyway, a final word. I really do think this is probably one of the best alternatives to something like the Ember mug. It's saving you money. It's giving you the same set it and leave it convenience. The only thing it's missing is customizable temperature. That would be nice, but it's really not necessary. It's a mug. Most people are fine with just a normal mug. Having one that at least heats your drink a little bit is sick. I would recommend, if you've been wanting one, take it, because again, it's a tool. If you're working, it gives you a means to not mess up your workflow. If you're a mom or dad with lots of kids running around, you can go wrangle your kids, come back, still have hot coffee. It's a tool. It makes your life easier. And for that, I think it's actually worth more than its asking price. However, don't raise the price, because the reason we're going to be buying this instead of the Ember mug is because it is definitely a little more affordable. So if you enjoyed this, drop a like and subscribe. I could use the help. And yeah, if this interests you, buy it. If not, save your money and do whatever it is you like to do.